Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I've got two videos to share with you guys that have been sent in of dark objects in the daytime sky. One of these objects is identifiable that I'm going to share with you guys, and also one is unidentifiable. Something I've never seen before in all the videos that you guys have shared with me over the years. This one is a first, and it is a classic. But first, over here at the homepage of the website, today's feature photo is of what they call a haboob, a giant wall of dust that moved through the southeast Phoenix area a couple of days ago. Massive sandstorm as monsoons continue out here in Arizona, which is a good thing. We like the rain, as we don't get a whole lot of rain during the summer months. Looking at the Schumann resonance, you can see the noise that we've been following in the Schumann is starting to dissipate. In fact, it's almost gone. It showed up around the 10 o'clock universal time like it's been doing now for over 3 weeks. Saw a spike at 15, and other than that, there's not much going on. We saw some activity yesterday, but today it's relatively quiet, starting to fade away, kind of like the Sahara sand. There's a large plume out here that expands about 2,000 miles, but it's not the biggest we've seen. But the environment, at least out here in the mid-Atlantic, is not very conducive yet for the formation of hurricanes. It's very dry, like it's dry over in the Sahara Desert, and you don't see tropical activity over here in the Sahara Desert. Well, the atmosphere is very dry, like over here in the desert out here in the central Atlantic, so it's going to be difficult for tropical storms to form there. However, that's a different story in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea, as there are no significant amounts of Sahara dust in either of those locations. So if there were to be any form, they would probably be in this area here. But right now, the Sahara dust is on the move once again, so more than likely that's going to put a lid on hurricanes, at least for a while. Coming over here to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, I don't see a whole lot of activity going on at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. No earthquake activity, or at least hardly any at all. There's a few spikes over here at Little West Thumb, very small earthquake activity, a little bit of magma intrusion, which you would expect. After all, it's a supervolcano. It's going to have some kind of movement here and there, but nothing major, which is a good thing. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux, the recent solar activity, there's been a flurry of solar flares in the last 72 hours. Much of that activity was Earth-directed, and we're still waiting on the strong geomagnetic storms. Looking at the Lake Mead water database, once again, a small increase in the overall water content. Went from 7,149,000 to 7,158,000. So the overall content has expanded a little bit, which was the continuing decrease of the outflow, 9,820 compared to a 15,610 inflow. So the inflow being greater than the outflow creates a positive change once again at Lake Mead. So hopefully this trend will continue as long as it can. I want to take you guys now to the skies. I want to show you guys something first that's identifiable. This object was sent in by Dale. Not sure of the location. It was an undisclosed location of this object that was way up in the sky. And we're going to zoom in really close. Dale saw this in the daytime sky. It was a cloudy day, as you're going to see right here, and he noticed this black object somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 10,000 feet. And it was moving through the sky at a pretty good pace, more than likely being influenced by the winds up there. I went into a 4K format while I was analyzing this thing. Sometimes I reach way down in the toolbox to try to pull forward things that we may or may not be able to pull forward, and in this case I was able to pull forward a feature on this object that made it identifiable. Looking at it right here, it looks like some sort of a bizarre black object in the daytime sky until you go in close and slow it down. And again, I use 4K. You can see that string hanging down, or some sort of a cord hanging off of the bottom of this, what now is identifiable as a black balloon. I will say this, it's a pretty good size balloon considering how high up in the sky it was. Again, this thing was several thousand feet in the sky, but going in super tight and slowing it down, you can see the string right there once again dangling from the bottom side of that very large black balloon. Now I want to show you guys something that is not necessarily identifiable. I've never seen anything quite like it, and here we go. Video footage was sent in by Sean S., once again from an undisclosed location. I don't know where this video was taken, but I'm waiting to hear back from Sean. This is what he saw in the daytime sky, and much like Dale, this too was a great distance away from his location. He zoomed in and did an excellent job keeping the camera steady as this object was a few miles from his location. One thing I want to point out, notice how it's maintaining the same posture. It's not moving. If this were a kite, it would be flapping in the wind. You would see things moving, at least with regard to the extremities, and the overall posture would fluctuate. It just simply wouldn't be able to maintain this stiff position that you see right here. It's very rigid. It's not fluctuating with the winds. There's always winds up in the sky, up in the higher altitudes. That's why you run into turbulence every once in a while in aircraft. But there is wind up here, but this does not seem to be influenced by the wind. So I don't think this is a kite. And I did go in looking for a string or some sort of a cord attached to this thing, and it's not there. So there's no cord attached to it, no string, just some sort of an unusual black object in the daytime sky that was noticed by Sean, once again, from an undisclosed location. Here in just a second, you're going to see this thing start to transform. It actually changes shape while maintaining the same position in the daytime sky. It doesn't go up or down, doesn't go side to side. Again, it's not being influenced by wind. You're going to see this thing completely transform into a different shaped object. So again, if it were a kite, that would be impossible to do and maintain this steady position in the sky. It's not moving. It's staying exactly where it was when Sean first noticed it. And he zoomed in and he's keeping the camera very steady. We have to do these things on the fly. 9 out of 10 times when you see something in the day or nighttime sky, you don't have a tripod with you. You have to film it the best you can. And again, he's doing a great job. But see how it's starting to change shape? It looks different than what it did when he first saw it. It's going to turn into just primarily a round ball in the daytime sky. Once again, not fluctuating. This thing is maintaining a steady course in the daytime sky. It's not being influenced by anything. It doesn't appear to be. And again, there was no string or cord attached to this thing. It's just up there on its own. It changes into this temporarily. I don't know what these black dots are, but they did show up going around the upper half of what's now a black circle, or almost a circle, in the daytime sky. And it was long. It looked like a vertical tadpole in the sky. Well, this doesn't look anything like a tadpole. These are just in different formats. I was trying to pull forward any type of identifiable features, and there simply were none. This was a super bizarre observation by Sean, and this thing's not done yet. It's going to change even more, and it's going to change quite drastically. Okay, right now when he left, he's just showing the rest of the sky, what it looks like. There's no other black objects in the sky. There's just random clouds, and there weren't any storms or anything like that. It was just a normal day, just a partly cloudy day. You can see some blue skies over here, but you don't see anything else in the sky that's black or round or vertical that looks like a tadpole up in the sky. You don't see anything like that. He's coming back over to the location where he first saw this black object, and you're going to see this thing change again for a third time. He zooms back in on this thing, and it seems to develop wings. Look at that. Are you serious? How did it do that? Went from that to a round circle that was surrounded by black dots, now to something that looks like a giant bird just kind of hovering over there in the daytime sky. Unreal. I've never seen anything like it. These are just different formats over here, trying to pull forward, again, any possible features that could identify this thing. Look at that. It looks like a bird just hanging over there in the sky. Again, not moving. It's in the same location as it was when he first spotted it a little over 3 minutes ago. It simply transformed into a different object and then disappeared. So here's the original when he first saw this thing, and I'm going to do some enhancement work and try to pull forward, again, any type of possibly unique features, and there are none. You can see what looks like a couple of antennae down here at the bottom. They don't move. None of the stuff you see here on this thing moves at all. It remains steady the entire time. I thought maybe we might see a cord or something over here, and there wasn't. There were no strings attached to this thing whatsoever. And here's the transformation process this thing went through in a little over 3 minutes. Started out looking like this, and then it changed to this with those unusual black dots around the top half of it. There was one there, one there, one there, and one there. About 4 around the top and the upper right-hand side of this object. Then it turned into what looked like a giant thunderbird in the daytime sky, but it wasn't moving. There were no wings flapping. It didn't do anything but kind of disappear into the clouds. Once again, a very bizarre observation by Sean from an undisclosed location. I'm waiting to hear back from Sean on where he saw that very mysterious object. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at mrmbb333.com. If you have any large videos that you would like to share and they, for whatever reasons, will not attach to the email, you can always come over here to the homepage of the website, click on this red banner you see right here that says have a large video, and simply follow the instructions. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. But you can attach large video files to that tab right there. It's very simple to use. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.